It was a Thursday morning in late May. A 74-year-old retired teacher in Georgia sat down at her kitchen table with her coffee and opened her banking app the same way she had every month for 11 years. The deposit was not there. She checked again, still nothing. She assumed it was a delay. She waited until Friday, still nothing. She spent the weekend calling a number she found through a search engine that she believed was the Social Security Administration. The person on the other end of that call was not from the Social Security Administration. By Monday morning, her next month's payment had already been redirected to an account she had never heard of. She had not missed a deadline. She had not made a reckless decision. She had simply not been told about 3 specific changes to how Social Security direct deposit works in 2026. Changes that are active right now. Changes that created the exact window a stranger used to reach into her account before she understood what was happening. This is Senior Life Academy. For 18 years, we have worked directly with American seniors on retirement benefits, financial protection, and the rules that change without announcement and cost real people real money. What we are covering today is specific and time-sensitive. 3 direct deposit rule changes that are active right now in 2026. All of them affecting Social Security and SSI payments. All of them creating gaps where honest seniors are getting caught off guard in ways that are entirely preventable with the right information. Before we get into all 3, subscribe right now and turn on the notification bell. Next week, we are covering a Social Security filing step that is available to seniors born before 1958 and that can add $200 to $600 per month to their payment permanently. The window to act on it closes at a specific point, and most seniors never reach it in time because no one told them it was there. Subscribe now so that video reaches you when it posts. Here is the context before the 3 changes, because without the context, the changes do not make complete sense. Executive Order 14247, signed in March 2025, required all federal benefit payments to transition to electronic delivery. The original compliance deadline was September 30th, 2025. On June 2nd, 2026, the Social Security Administration formally confirmed it will complete the full transition to electronic-only payments before the end of this calendar year. The small remaining fraction of beneficiaries still receiving paper checks, estimated at fewer than 400,000 people nationally, are now operating inside a hard final deadline. That transition is not the problem. The transition to electronic payments is measurably safer, faster, and more reliable than the paper system it replaces. Paper checks are 16 times more likely to be lost, stolen, or returned undeliverable. An electronic transfer costs the government less than 15 cents to process. A paper check costs $3.70 to print and mail. The financial and security case for this change was not close. The problem is what 3 specific rule changes inside that transition have created, and the people who built the fraud operations targeting seniors in 2026 understand all 3 of them better than most seniors do. Stay through all 3. Rule change 2 is where the real danger lives, and it has nothing to do with whether you already switched to direct deposit. Rule change 1 involves a deadline and an option that almost nobody knows exists for the seniors who genuinely cannot make the switch. If you are still receiving your Social Security or SSI payment by paper check in the mail, you are operating inside a window that closes before December 31st, 2026. After that date, paper checks for federal benefit payments end, not delayed, not phased out gradually, ended. 2 options exist for making the switch, and I want to cover both clearly because the second one is the one most seniors in this situation have never heard of by name. Option 1 is standard direct deposit into a traditional bank account. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and navigate to the Payment Settings section. Enter your current bank routing number and account number under the new electronic processing system. That update takes effect within 1 to 3 business days. You can also call the SSA directly at 1-800-77-21213, and a representative will walk you through the update over the phone if the online process feels unfamiliar. Option 2 is the Direct Express prepaid debit card. This is a government-issued prepaid MasterCard designed specifically for seniors who do not have a traditional bank account and do not want one. Your monthly benefit is deposited directly onto the card on the same schedule as standard direct deposit. The card works anywhere MasterCard is accepted. No credit check, no minimum balance requirement, no bank account needed to enroll. Call 1-800-9676857 or visit godirect.gov. Both of those are official government resources. For seniors who have resisted the electronic transition out of a general distrust of digital banking, the Direct Express card is worth a serious second look. It does not require a smartphone. It does not require an online account. It does not require any digital interaction after the initial enrollment phone call. Your benefit simply arrives on the card each month, and you use it the same way you would use any debit card at a grocery store, a pharmacy, or an ATM. The protection it provides is identical to standard direct deposit without any of the digital complexity. Here is the detail that almost no coverage of this transition has explained. A hardship waiver is available through the United States Treasury for seniors who face genuine documented obstacles to receiving electronic payments. Two specific situations are recognized. First, a documented mental health condition that makes managing electronic payments genuinely difficult or impossible without assistance. Second, living in a remote geographic area where there is no reasonable access to a financial institution or electronic payment infrastructure of any kind. The waiver is not a permanent exemption. It is a documented accommodation that provides additional time and support while a workable solution is arranged. Most seniors watching this will not qualify, and that is the correct outcome. But knowing it exists means the seniors facing the most genuine hardship have a path rather than simply missing their payment with no explanation and no recourse. If you are still on paper, act before the end of this year. The deadline is not flexible, and there will be no grace period announcement sent to your mailing address. Rule change 2 is where the real danger is. And before I explain it, I need to say one thing clearly because the framing matters. The electronic payment system itself is not the threat. It is more secure than the paper system in almost every measurable way. The threat is what is happening inside the gap between having switched to direct deposit and having the correct current account information on file with the SSA right now in 2026. Those are two completely different situations, and the distance between them is exactly where seniors are losing payments today. Here is the situation that nobody is explaining clearly enough. If you switch to direct deposit at any point in the last 2 to 3 years, your enrollment may not be current right now, even though your payments have been arriving without interruption. Bank mergers, closed accounts, updated routing numbers after a bank acquisition, an account you changed after a branch closed, any of those events creates a broken link between your SSA payment record and your actual current banking information. When that link breaks, the next payment has nowhere to go. You will not receive a warning. You will not receive a letter. The SSA will not call. You will simply open your banking app on payment day and find nothing there. The payment attempted to reach the account on file. If that account is no longer active or the routing number is no longer valid, the payment is returned to the SSA. The process of recovering a return payment and reissuing it under the new electronic system adds 3 to 7 business days to the timeline. Days when your rent is still due, days when your prescriptions still need to be filled, days when the bills your deposit was supposed to cover do not pause for the delay. Here is how to verify your enrollment is current right now today. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and navigate to the Payment Settings section. Confirm the routing number and account number currently on file with the SSA match your active current account exactly. Not an account you had 2 years ago. Not an account from a bank that merged with a different institution. Not an account you stopped using when a branch closed. The account that is open, active, and currently in use today. If you do not have a My Social Security online account, call 1-800-772-1213 and ask the representative to read back the routing number and the last 4 digits of the account number currently on file for your direct deposit. Compare what they read to what is on your debit card or your most recent bank statement. If anything does not match, update it during that same call. This verification takes 5 minutes. Skipping it because your last several payments arrived correctly is exactly the assumption that leaves seniors with a missed payment and no understanding of why. And here is the layer on top of this that makes it more dangerous. When a payment fails to arrive and a senior does not know the 3 business day rule, the fraud lives in the panic that follows. We will cover that precisely in Rule Change 3. But before we get there, I want to say something directly to you. The fact that you are still watching this video right now tells me something real. Most people click away after 2 or 3 minutes. You are still here. That means you understand that the gap between knowing this information and not knowing it is the difference between your payment landing where it belongs and spending weeks trying to recover money that went somewhere it was not supposed to go. If you have not subscribed yet, do it right now. Turn on the notification bell. The next 2 changes I am covering today and the video coming next week on the Social Security filing step most seniors never take are exactly the kind of updates that arrive too late for the people who are not subscribed. Subscribe now. Now the account verification problem is real and it causes real missed payments. But there is a second dimension to Rule Change 2 that is not about accidental mismatches. It is about intentional ones. And this dimension is what is actively costing seniors money in 2026. Right now, today, criminal organizations have studied the SSA's account verification process in precise detail. They understand which questions the SSA asks. They understand what information a senior needs to provide to update their deposit record. They understand how long the update takes to process. And they are now impersonating that process step by step, targeting seniors at the exact moment when a conversation about direct deposit verification sounds the most legitimate. Here is how it works. In 2026, a senior receives a phone call. The caller identifies as a representative of the Social Security Administration, the Department of the Treasury, or a federal payment security office. They explain that because of the 2026 electronic payment transition, the senior's account information needs to be reconfirmed to ensure the next payment is not delayed. The caller has the senior's full name. Sometimes they have the last 4 digits of their bank account. They sound official. They sound patient. They sound like someone trying to help. Then they ask for one of 3 things: the full routing number, the full account number, or a one-time verification code that was just sent to the senior's phone. The moment any one of those 3 things is provided, the caller can redirect the next benefit payment to an account they control. Under the new electronic processing rules, account changes process in as little as 1 business day. A payment expected on Wednesday can be in a criminal's account by Thursday morning with no notification to the senior until they open their banking app and find nothing there. The Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General has documented the specific sequence that every version of this scam follows. They identify it with 4 steps. Remember these 4 words: pretend, problem, pressure, payment. Pretend. The caller pretends to be from the SSA, the Treasury, or a federal payment office. They may use technology that causes an official government phone number to appear on your caller ID. They may have enough personal information about you to sound credible from the first sentence. Problem. They present an urgent problem, a flagged account, a suspended payment, an unverified enrollment that will cause your payment to be held unless immediate action is taken. The problem is invented. Its only purpose is to create the need for the next step. Pressure. They apply a deadline, usually 24 to 48 hours, sometimes less. The urgency is manufactured specifically to prevent you from slowing down, calling a family member, or contacting the SSA independently to verify anything. They need you to act before you think. Payment. They ask for your routing number, your account number, your Social Security number, or a one-time verification code. Every version of this call ends in the same place, regardless of how it starts. That information is always the destination. If you are in a conversation that follows that sequence, you are not talking to anyone from the government. End the call. Report the contact to the SSA fraud hotline at 1-800-269-0271. Also report it at ftc.gov. These reports help federal investigators identify and disrupt the operations running this fraud and warn other seniors before more damage is done. Here is the rule. Write this down somewhere you will see it. A legitimate federal agency contacts you about account verification by mail, not by phone, not by text, not by email. Mail. The SSA and the Treasury Department follow the same protocol. When they need to update or verify your information, a letter arrives at your address on file. They do not initiate outbound phone calls to ask you to confirm banking information. The direction of that conversation goes only one way. You call them. They do not call you. Any inbound call asking you to confirm financial account information to protect your payment is not the agency. It does not matter how official the caller sounds. It does not matter if your caller ID shows an SSA phone number. It does not matter if the caller already knows your name and the last 4 digits of your account. The call is the fraud. One sentence is all you need. Say it and hang up. I do not confirm account information on inbound calls, then hang up. Here is the most powerful single step you can take right now, and the one that most seniors have not taken. Create or log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. When you have an active My Social Security account, the SSA sends you an immediate alert anytime someone attempts to change your address or your direct deposit information on your record. If a scammer who obtained your personal information tries to redirect your payment, you receive a notification while there is still time to contact the SSA and stop the redirect before it processes. If you do not have a My Social Security account, a criminal who obtains your Social Security number and enough of your personal information can create one in your name before you do and then use it to redirect your payments without your knowledge. Creating the account yourself closes that door permanently. A scammer cannot create an account for you if you already have one. The setup takes approximately 15 minutes. You need your Social Security number, an email address, and a phone number for identity verification. Once it is active, it requires no ongoing maintenance. It simply protects you quietly in the background and contacts you only when something on your record changes. If setting up the account feels overwhelming, ask a son, a daughter, a grandchild, or a trusted friend to sit with you for one afternoon and complete it together. Once it is done, and the protection it provides starts immediately. Rule change 3 is the one that almost no one has explained clearly, not because of what it does to your payment directly, but because of the window it creates for someone else to do something to your payment. And that window opens every single month on a predictable schedule that criminals have already mapped in detail. Under the old paper check system, payment dates were fixed. The same date month after month, year after year. Seniors built their entire monthly financial schedule around that date. Rent, utilities, prescriptions, groceries, everything timed to that arrival. The predictability was so reliable that most seniors stopped actively tracking the specific calendar date. They simply knew it was coming and it came. Under the fully electronic system, that predictability still exists. But it works on a schedule that is different from the paper calendar most seniors built their lives around. And the seniors who do not know exactly when to expect their payment under the new schedule are the ones sitting in the confusion window every single month. And the confusion window is exactly where the fraud operates. Here is the complete payment schedule. Write your specific date down right now. And do not put this video on until you have done it. SSI recipients receive their payment on the 1st of every month. If the 1st falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the payment arrives the previous Friday. If you expected your payment on a Monday and the 1st was a Sunday, it did not arrive late. It arrived the Friday before and posted before you checked. Seniors who filed for Social Security benefits before May 1997 or who received both Social Security and SSI received their Social Security payment on the 3rd of every month. The same weekend and holiday adjustment applies. If the 3rd falls on a weekend, the payment arrives the previous business day. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your Social Security payment arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, your payment arrives on the 3rd Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment arrives on the 4th Wednesday of each month. Write your date down right now. Set a recurring monthly reminder in your phone or on a paper calendar for the day before your expected date. Know when it is coming before it arrives, not after it passes. That knowledge alone removes a significant portion of the vulnerability this schedule creates. Here is why knowing your exact date matters more than it seems on the surface. The window between when a payment is expected and when it has not yet arrived is the moment this fraud targets most deliberately. Scammers know exactly when Social Security payment dates fall. They time their calls to land inside that window on purpose. A senior who is already anxious about a deposit that should have posted and has not is far more likely to respond to a caller who offers a resolution than a senior who is simply going about their Tuesday. The caller does not need to convince you of much. The anxiety about the missing payment is already there. They simply need to position themselves as the solution to a problem you are already feeling. They call on Wednesday, your payment did not post Wednesday morning. They say they are from the SSA, calling about a processing delay on your account. The window closes around you before you understand what happened. Knowing your date and knowing the 3 business day rule are what close that window permanently. Here is the 3 business day rule. Memorize it. If your expected payment date arrives and nothing has posted to your account, wait 3 full business days before taking any action of any kind. Most delays in the electronic payment system, posting timing differences at your bank, minor processing schedule adjustments, and brief holds applied by financial institutions for routine reasons resolve inside that 3 business day window without any intervention required. The payment is in the system. It is moving toward you. It simply has not posted yet. Any action you take inside that 3 business day window, making calls, returning calls from unknown numbers, providing information to anyone who contacts you offering to help, is when and how the fraud reaches you. The scammer is waiting inside that window. The anxiety of the missing payment is the door. The 3 business day rule keeps that door closed. After 3 full business days have passed with no payment posted, follow this exact sequence, every step in order. Step 1, call your bank directly using the number printed on the back of your debit card. Do not use a number from a search result. Do not use a number from an email, the number on your card. Ask the representative whether a payment is pending or whether there was a posting delay on their end. Many delays resolve at this step before any escalation is needed. If your bank confirms a payment arrived and is pending, wait for it to post. Step 2, if your bank confirms after 3 business days that nothing was received at all, call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213. Find that number yourself at ssa.gov before you dial. Do not use a number a caller gave you. Do not use a number from a search result that may have been purchased by a third party. The number you locate independently at the official SSA website. The SSA will trace the payment, identify where it went, and initiate the recovery process. Step 3. If you received any inbound phone calls, text messages, or emails during the period your payment was delayed, report every one of them to the SSA fraud hotline at 1-800-269-0271 and to the FTC at ftc.gov before you do anything else. Do not respond to those contacts. Do not return those calls. Report them. Then call the SSA through the number you found at ssa.gov. Here is one final detail about the 2026 electronic system that changes how every part of this matters. Under the old paper check system, changes to direct deposit information took up to 30 days to process. That 30-day window gave banks, federal monitors, and fraud detection systems meaningful time to catch something unusual before it caused damage. Under the fully electronic system now in effect, account changes process in as little as 1 business day. A fraudulent redirect, an account change made by someone who obtained your personal information, can take effect before the next payment cycle with no warning. The margin between when a fraudulent change is made and when it can be reversed has shrunk from 30 days to 24 hours. This is exactly why verifying your enrollment before a problem occurs is not just a reasonable precaution. It is the primary protection. Catching a mismatch before a payment fails takes 5 minutes. Reversing a payment that already went to the wrong account under the new processing speed is significantly more complicated and significantly slower. One final step that costs nothing and takes 2 minutes to put in place. Tell one trusted person in your life 3 specific things: which bank your Social Security payment goes to, what your exact expected payment date is each month, and what the 3 business day rule means. Then agree on one simple rule together. If either of you receives any inbound call, text, or email claiming to be from a federal agency about your Social Security payment or your direct deposit account, you talk to each other before responding in any way. Scammers depend on isolation. They depend on a senior making a financial decision alone under pressure with no one available to slow things down. The manufactured urgency of 24 to 48 hours exists specifically to prevent that check-in from happening. One trusted person with one shared understanding removes most of that advantage before the fraud ever gets the opportunity to use it.